Hollow Creek, West Virginia, October 1953. Rain fell in sheets the night Eleanor Voss vanished. The creek swelled, swallowing the banks, clawing at the roots of the old willow tree where she'd been seen hours earlier, arguing with preacher Jacob Hale. The town whispered she'd drowned herself out of shame, a pregnant widow, they said, too broken to face God's judgment. But when her husband's truck was found abandoned at the edge of the woods, keys dangling from the ignition, the whispers turned to silence. The sheriff called it an accident. The congregation nodded. Only the black rosebush that bloomed overnight in Eleanor's yard seemed to protest, its petals dark as a bruise, thorns sharp as lies. Present day, 1 week before Halloween. Clara Bennett's U-Haul groaned up the gravel drive, tires spitting mud. The farmhouse hunched ahead, its porch sagging like a broken spine, shutters hanging askew. Perfect, she thought. A fresh start, far from her ex-husband's sneers and the hollow-eyed stares of her old life in Charleston. The realtor, a twitchy man named Roy, avoided her gaze as he handed over the keys. Power's on. Well, water's clean. Don't mind the roses. Roses? He gestured vaguely toward the yard. Wild ones. Just yank 'em out. But the rosebush wasn't wild. It stood sentinel at the tree line, skeletal and defiant, its gnarled branches clawing at the October sky. Clara crouched, brushing a thumb over a thorn. It pricked her, drawing a bead of blood. Wrong. The blood sizzled faintly, evaporating into a wisp of black smoke. Night 1. Clara dreamed of water. Cold, suffocating, filling her lungs as shadowed hands pressed her deeper into the creek bed. She woke gasping, her bedroom thick with the stench of wet earth. Moonlight bled through the curtains. Someone stood in the yard. A woman, her back to the house, hair dripping, dress clinging to skeletal limbs. She swayed slightly, humming a fractured lullaby. Hello? Clara whispered, fogging the glass. The woman turned. Her face was a waterlogged ruin, lips sewn shut with coarse black thread. Clara stumbled back, knocking over a lamp. When she looked again, the yard was empty. Morning. The attic smelled of mildew and mothballs. Clara's flashlight glinted off a rusted lockbox beneath the eaves. Inside. A dried rose, petals brittle as ash. A Polaroid of a smiling woman, Eleanor, beside a man in a preacher's collar. A newspaper clipping, local widow drowns in tragic accident. On the back of the photo, a scrawl, forgive me, Jacob. I never meant to tell. Clara's phone buzzed. A text from Roy, you still alive over there? She ignored it. Town library, afternoon. The librarian, Mrs. Green, palmed a silver cross as Clara slid the Polaroid across the desk. That's Eleanor Voss. And Preacher Hale. He disappeared after she died. Convenient, Clara said. His wife said he was called to mission work. But his car stayed in their garage till the day she died. Mrs. Green leaned closer. Eleanor wasn't just drowned. She was bound. Folks say the preacher's wife stitched her mouth shut to keep her from testifying on Judgment Day. Clara's palm itched. The thorn prick had festered into a thin black line. Night 5. The woman stood at the foot of Clara's bed. Water pooled on the floorboards, seeping into the rug. The stitches in her lips strained, threads snapping one by one. He buried me alive. Maggots spilled from her mouth, followed by a flood of creek water and mud. My baby. He buried us both. Clara's vision blurred. She saw Eleanor, pregnant, pleading with Preacher Hale in the woods. His fist. Her scream. The shovel. The shallow grave. The creek, rising to claim her corpse. Dawn. Clara attacked the rosebush with an axe. Thorns lashed her arms, drawing blood that smoked and hissed. The roots writhed, coiling around her ankles, but she hacked deeper, unearthing a tiny bone. A rib. A gold wedding band, engraved, J.H. and E.V. Jacob Hale's secret. Eleanor hadn't drowned. She'd been gagged, beaten, and buried alive to hide the preacher's bastard child. Clara pocketed the ring. I'll tell everyone. Behind her, the rosebush creaked. Too late, whispered the wind. Halloween night. The farmhouse groaned. Walls cracked, vomiting black water. Clara fled to the creek, Eleanor's corpse dragging itself upstream, flesh sloughing off to reveal the preacher's skeleton fused to hers. Mrs. Hale emerged from the trees, shotgun in hand. Should have left it buried, girl. Eleanor's bones lunged. The old woman screamed, drowned in the creek as the thing that was once Eleanor pulled her under. Clara ran. Behind her, the water stilled. 1 month later. Clara sold the farmhouse but kept the rosebush in a terracotta pot. It thrives on her fire escape, blooming through November frost. At night, she hears humming. The realtor calls, new tenants complain of a woman in the yard. Clara smiles, watering the roses. Some ghosts don't want peace, she murmurs. They want justice. In the soil, a tiny bone glints.